What's up, everybody? It is CJ Trivisonno and Stephanie Termine with me. Stephanie is our sales director for our Trivisonno real estate team and an amazing realtor. And today we're going to talk about affordability and interest rates. Steph, so talk to me about interest rates. What's going on with them? What's the chatter been about? What's happening with all that?
Yeah. So I think anywhere you turn right now, whether it's social media or you're watching the news, everyone's talking interest rates are at historic lows. They're at historic lows. And what I'm finding is that a lot of people don't really understand what that means, right?
Yeah, 100%. So today we're going to do a quick example for you guys of really how much can I afford, right? Like how much of a house can I buy or should I be buying right now based on what the interest rates are. And then we'll show you a couple different examples of today's interest rates and what interest rates, were when probably you and I bought our first houses. And then even potentially when our parents bought their first houses.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull up one screen here and we're going to, we'll dive into this. Okay, Steph, walk me through what this means. What are we doing here?
All right. So CJ, let's pretend you're a buyer. I meet you and you say, hey, I'm interested in buying a home. So we're going to fill these things out. Let's use annual income. Let's go.
What do you want to put?
Let's do 70,000.
Okay, $70,000.
70,000 combined income.
Okay.
Put your car payments in here. Say you have, $400 in car payments a month.
Okay, so $400 is my monthly debt, not 4,000. We're not driving. We're not driving Lamborghinis.
Yeah. And then let's just say you tell me you have 20,000 to put down.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, and debt to income, that was at 32%, I believe, right? Okay. All right. So what does this mean?
So what this is saying, and I guess CJ, how much would you, feel comfortable spending per month for your mortgage?
Good point. So we can control that down the bottom here. So let's say I want to spend $1,500 a month of my, about $1,500 a month here on my mortgage.
Okay.
My payment per month.
So if you look here, today's interest rates are at 3.152. So at today's interest rates, if you want to keep your payment at a $1,500 a month, you can afford a house that's about $260,000. Okay.
Okay.
With me so far?
Yeah, I'm following. So at a 3.1 interest rate, I want to hold my $1,500 monthly payment. I can afford a $260,000 house today.
That's correct.
Okay, good.
So let's bump that up a little bit, CJ. Let's say interest rates creep up to 3.5%, which are still crazy low, but they go up.
Okay.
So you see your $260,000 affordability to keep your $1,500 month payment just changed to $252.
Okay, so literally like with nothing else changing besides that interest rate going up, what, 0.4%?
Mm-hmm.
So not even a full percent, not even a half of a percent. I need to buy an $8,000 less of a house.
Right.
Interesting.
So $8,000 here or there. Okay, maybe that's not a huge deal, but let's just say, because I think we all agree that rates are not going to stay as low as they are right now, right? There's just no way. So let's do 4.5%, which when my husband and I bought our house, like rates were at 4.5. We actually refinanced from 5 to 4.5 and thought we were getting a great deal. So you see here, to keep that $1,500 a month payment, your affordability or your budget just went from $260 to $232. So that's almost a $30,000 difference in your affordability.
Right, that's crazy. So I want to keep my $1,500 a monthly payment. I want to keep my down payment the same. Mm-hmm. If the interest rate goes up, a little bit more than a point, I pretty much need to buy a $30,000 cheaper of a house. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but yeah. So $30,000 less is what I can afford. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I think, listen, we know as realtors, because we see houses day in and day out. A $260,000 house isn't the same as a $230,000 house. So you're probably compromising on some things that are important to you when you're looking to buy a home because your affordability has changed. Right.
So let's just play just for fun. So when our parents' generation, when they were buying their first houses, I think the interest rates were like 12 or 15%. Let's just call them, let's just say, what does it look like at 10%? So if I'm buying a house, my same house out, my $1,500 a month monthly payment. So at a 10% interest rate, I can only afford a $159,000 house at my 115, which is staggering. So just to go back, so today was what, 3.152, let's call it. Yeah. So at the same thing, it's $260,000. I was like, that's staggering to me of how much of a difference that really is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I always tell this to my clients, like, listen, your income probably doesn't fluctuate a ton. You know, you might get a bonus here or there. You might get a slight raise, you know, unless you're in sales, your income is probably pretty steady. So with all else being the same, the only thing that truly impacts your affordability is what interest rates are.
Right. That's insane. So as interest rates, and they're going to have to eventually start creeping up here, you're actually going to be able to afford less house. Right. And so even right now, so, you know, it's, you know, everyone's seeing houses are selling like crazy. There's no inventory. And so people are having to pay a little bit more money for their house right now. But actually that ends up being okay because your interest rate is still so low that you can actually afford more with the same exact monthly payment. And I've said this before. I was one of those people. Last summer I bought a house. I was actually able to afford a little bit more of a house with a lower monthly payment because we were surprised at how low our payment was and what the price of my house I could afford. So I was able to actually get into a better neighborhood and actually buy a better house that I thought I was going to be able to because the interest rates were so low, which was obviously a great bonus. And yeah, did we spend more than we initially thought we would? We did, but that number actually didn't mean anything because our payment was the only thing that got adjusted from that interest rate.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, CJ. You know, we're talking a lot about that right now. Like buyers are concerned, prices are high, homes are selling in multiple offers for over a list, and the conversation we should be having, you know, unless you're paying cash for a house, which this entire conversation doesn't apply to you then obviously, but you know, most of us are financing the purchase of a home, right? So really, even at a higher price, as long as you're comfortable with that monthly payment, that's really what we should be focusing on, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's pivot real quick. We have one more other quick little slide we want to show everybody as I'm pulling this up here. So we are going to show just a quick little graph here. Can you see that? Okay, good. So walk me through. So quickly, what does this mean?
So this is, CJ, this just encompasses in a nice one-page visual exactly what we're trying to say, right? If you look at the bottom all the way to the left-hand side, if rates are at 2.75, if you want to keep a $1,600 payment, at the bottom number you see you can afford a $400,000 home. On the left, if rates creep up to, let's just call it a 3.25, to keep that about $1,600 payment, now you're looking at a $380,000 house, right?
Right.
Jump even farther, they go up to a 3.75, and now we're at a $360,000 home. So your buying power or your purchasing power as a buyer is changing substantially, you know, tens of thousands of dollars if rates increase from 2.75 to 3.75.
Yeah, I love that. So that's kind of like the 10,000 foot view of exactly where your payment would be and what the interest rate looks like. Cool. Yeah, I love that. All right, very good, Steph. So if I'm looking to buy a house right now, what should I do?
So you need to reach out to us or, you know, your local realtor of choice and ask, you know, hey, listen, can you guys run some numbers for me? Let me know and we will run some numbers for you. We'll tell you what you can probably afford based on what you're telling us. And then even better, we'll put you in touch with a lender who can get you your exact details and we can go look at houses.
Awesome. Love it. Great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Powerful as always. Great information. And thank you everybody for watching. Again, like Stephanie said, if you need anything, reach out to us and we're happy to run those numbers for you or put you in touch with a mortgage professional who can do that and perfect that for you. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye, guys.